What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about the spot price of silver and gold flying yesterday during the FOMC meeting, but I also wanted to talk about a major update regarding the Federal Reserve because some news just came out. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts, and a whole lot more. You can actually watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's videos all right now if you want to. And of course, make sure to go and get your 6 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Refer 1 friend by the end of the month, and they're going to give you 10 free random stocks. Refer 3 friends by the end of the month, and they're going to give you all the way up to 15 free shares of Apple. Everything will be linked in the description. So today is Thursday, June 16th, 2022. The current spot price of silver as I'm filming the video is $21.52. It's down 15 cents today so far, or down 0.69%. Solid red day for the beautiful white metal. Spot price of gold is $18.32 even. It's down $2.50, or down 0.14% today so far. A mild red day for the beautiful yellow metal. And of course, the gold to silver ratio is in the 84 to 85 to 1 range. But of course, that's as I'm filming the video at about 5:16 in the morning, not as I'm editing, posting, or as you're watching. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. All right, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about what in the world the precious metals did yesterday during the Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting. To put things into perspective, just as Jerome Powell was coming out to talk to everybody during the press conference, the stock market completely tanked, and pretty much the polar opposite happened regarding the silver and the gold. But before we can even get into the money, I think we need to first talk about the currency and also what really happened with the Federal Reserve's meeting and press conference yesterday. All right, so for those of you that somehow didn't know, the Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting was yesterday, and wow, it was a roller coaster of a day that ended with some good news, or should I say news that was perceived to be good. The market responded really well to what we learned during the press conference, although there was one thing that was mentioned that makes me a bit concerned. But we'll get into that. First things first, Jerome Powell came right out and said that the Federal Reserve is not trying to induce a recession. Now, I don't know how meaningful that is, considering we're likely already in one. We'll find out in Q3. But the market took it as good news because the Fed does, in fact, have the power and ability to intentionally send us into a recession as a method of combating inflation, if that's what needs to be done. It's a last resort type of tactic. So it's good to know inflation is still seen as something that's able to be managed without an intentional recession, at least at this time. He then went on to say that monetary policy is adapting to new data that comes out, hence the 75 basis point hike yesterday. We weren't expecting that, although the market was pricing it in, thanks to the latest inflation report. We were all saying that it's probably going to happen. We're probably going to see the Fed have no choice but to raise rates in a larger increment than what we were expecting. We weren't expecting that 75 basis point hike because that's not what we were originally told. But with the latest inflation report showing that inflation, both headline and core inflation, is back on the rise. The Fed had to respond in a way that made sense, even if it went against the game plan. To follow up on that, Jerome Powell said that we were supposed to get two 75 basis point hikes during this process, but 75 basis points is unusually large and we currently don't expect another one. But that could change depending on what new information comes out. Like another month or two of rising inflation. Like, for example, inflation's currently at 8.6% according to the latest report. So let's just say the next one reads 8.9%, and then the one after that reads 9.2. The Federal Reserve would have absolutely no choice at that point but to introduce another 75 basis point hike. But they're taking it meeting by meeting. So as for the rest of the year, where the Fed will be meeting, we're looking at July, September, November, and December. As of right now, we can probably expect 50 at each of those meetings, assuming things go according to plan, which means the Fed is shooting for inflation to flatten and then decline throughout the rest of the year. But of course, time will tell. Powell then went on to say that the consumer is still in very good shape and that there aren't any signs of a broader economic slowdown. No signs, to use his words. He might be right in that we may not continue seeing slowing down, but I definitely wouldn't say that there are no signs of that potentially happening, because there absolutely are. So overall, a positive sentiment on the issue at hand. This is when the stock market really started taking off, because Jerome Powell, when he first stepped out there, the market started crashing. But the more he spoke for about the course of an hour, we started moving in an upward direction. At least the stock market did. So friendly reminder to go and get your 6 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Refer 1 friend by the end of the month and they're going to give you 10 free stocks for the referral. Refer 3 friends by the end of the month and they're going to give you all the way up to 15 free shares of Apple. Don't pass up on an opportunity. We will link in the description. But there were 2 main negatives that I wanted to point out. And then we're going to get into the silver and the gold. But one, the market didn't seem to like to hear, and the other one is just something that I picked up on and thought was pretty odd. First, Jerome Powell said that the unemployment rate is expected to go up to 3.7% by the end of the year, 3.9% by the end of next year, and 4.1% by the end of 2024. The market wasn't a fan of hearing these words. An expected rise in unemployment over the next 2.5 years? That seems concerning, and the market really didn't like that. Powell explained that the Fed can't control what's happening in the labor market, which I will be honest, sounds pretty weird coming from the chair of the Federal Reserve, who, by the way, just recently said the number 1 priority is to get inflation down while keeping the labor market strong. But it is what it is. And then, of course, there was something else that I had picked up on that I don't hear anybody else talking about right now. About 30, maybe 40 minutes deep in the hour-long press conference that we had yesterday, Powell said, and I quote, "Our objective really is to bring inflation down to 2% while the labor market remains strong. I think what's becoming more clear is that many factors that we don't control are going to play a very significant role in deciding whether that's possible or not. And there, I'm thinking of commodity prices, the war in Ukraine, supply chain, things like that, where the monetary policy stance doesn't affect those things. There's a path for us to get there. It's not getting easier, it's getting more challenging because of these external forces." Jerome Powell said that 30, maybe 40 minutes deep into the hour-long press conference. And to me, I don't know if anybody else out there is, picking up on the same thing, but That doesn't sound overly confident to me. At least not in my opinion. That doesn't really seem optimistic. In fact, that seems kind of pessimistic. He seemed almost defeated when he said that. His whole overall demeanor during a majority of the press conference, by the way, he seemed very defeated. And those words right there, what I just read off, didn't sound very confident in the way things are going. Almost as though it's bracing us for impact, letting us know that these external factors and more external factors that are going to be coming out over the next couple of months or throughout the rest of the year are going to put a strain on what we're trying to do. That's just what I was picking up on. But again, time will tell. But moving away from all of that, moving away from Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve and the FOMC meeting and inflation and the stock market and all of that, let's now get back into the silver and the gold, because something very interesting happened to the spot price yesterday, and I have some screenshots to prove it. First things first, when Jerome Powell first came out to speak, and the stock market just tanked, and at the very beginning of the speech he was giving, kept moving further and further and further in a downward direction. Meanwhile, you want to know what the precious metals were doing? Silver and gold? They started to fly. And I had noticed this. The time was about 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The news was released at 2. Jerome Powell came out to speak around 2:30. And then at 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the spot price of silver was $21.75. It was up 73 cents at that point, or up 3.47%, almost 3.5%. That's the biggest jump I've seen silver take in quite a bit of time. That's the most green I've seen silver in I don't even know how long. And then, of course, the spot price of gold at the time, 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, while Jerome Powell was speaking, $1,836 even. It was up $27.50, or up 1.52%. Over 1.5%. Silver was up just about 3.5%, and gold was up over 1.5%. A massive green day for the precious metals, at least while the stock market was tanking. This is what we saw, and this is what I thought was pretty interesting. And this is what I'm used to. Even though all this time has gone by, the last 2 years where pretty much nothing has made sense, I'm still used to when the stock market tanks, silver and gold start climbing up, and vice versa. When the stock market is soaring, silver and gold don't usually do so hot. Of course, the last 2 years have been kind of an exception, because what's going up should be going down, what's going down should be going up, and things are going up together when they ordinarily move in opposite directions, and vice versa. It's been a really weird last 2 years. But this right here, this reminded me of what's probably supposed to be happening. When the stock market tanks, when the stock market moves in a downward direction, when there's a sharp decline, and we see silver up about 3.5%, that's kind of what I like to see. But I will be honest, at this time, it's probably ideal to be diversifying. It's probably the smartest move to not put all your eggs in one basket. You probably don't even want to put all your eggs in 2 baskets, or even 3 at this time. You're going to want to diversify. You're going to want to spread things out. You're going to want to be all over the place. That way, when one area tanks, your whole net worth doesn't get yanked down. I think right now is probably the best time to be diversifying. And of course, yeah, the stock market tanked yesterday at the beginning of the press conference, and then we very quickly started moving back up, and then we ended up closing in the green. we were actually up quite a bit. And if I had to assume, again, I'm filming this video at 5 o'clock in the morning, God only knows what the rest of the day is going to bring us. I'm going to go ahead and assume that today's going to be a pretty green day when it comes to stocks. And we're looking at silver and gold right now, already in the red. Again, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. God only knows what the rest of the day is going to bring us. But silver's down over 0.5%. Gold is down almost 0.25%. Both metals are in the red so far. Meanwhile, stocks closed in the green, and I have a very strong feeling they're going to open in the green. Now, what's funny about the way I make my videos is I'm filming this one at 5 o'clock in the morning. Market's not even open yet, and the video is not even going to be posted on YouTube until after the market's already closed. Although, I do post these videos, or a majority of them, before the market is even open in the VIP club. So if you're not already a VIP club member, I would recommend you join. You can watch all the videos early and commercial free. I do giveaways every single month. I live stream a couple of times a week, and there are a ton of other perks as well. So the VIP club link will be in the description if you want to become a VIP club member. You get early access to all these videos and whatnot. But I think right now, it's probably not a half bad time to be, as they say, buying the dip. So whether you're in financial offense mode or if you're in financial defense mode, I think that there are a lot of opportunities right now. And even though silver had a really strong day yesterday, up 3.5%, spot price was still under $22. It's still laying low, especially if you compare where it was at just a couple of months ago. I think maybe 2 months ago, I remember making a video saying spot price climbed up to $26. And then it pulled back all the way down to 21. So a lot of people right now, they might see silver get kind of close to $22 an ounce and be like, oh no, it's up higher. Is it? Because it's a whole lot lower than where it was a month and a half ago. It's down by several dollars. So if you're in financial defense mode and you're focusing on the precious metals right now, a green day at the moment is still pretty low. See, that's something that a lot of people have to get used to. They'll see a stock, for example. Somebody will be used to the price of a stock being about $150 a share. They'll be buying in at $150. It'll be at $150 for a couple of weeks on end, and that's what they're used to. Then all of a sudden, the share price takes a little bit of a hit. Let's just say it gets knocked all the way down to about $120. Now all of a sudden, a lot of people are buying the dip. Let's just say the share price goes back up to maybe about 130. It fell down to about 120 from 150. Now it starts to climb its way back up and it's at about 130. People will look at that 130 and say, oh no, it's back on the rise. I don't want to buy it. Your average cost is 150. Why would you not buy it at 130 thinking that it's on the rise? Sure, it just had a green day or maybe even a whole green week. But guess what? It's still a dip if you look at what your average price is. So people look at it that way when it comes to stocks, and people seem to do the same thing when it comes to silver. Of course, stack price is something that we need to consider. The average premium tacked onto what the spot price is. So right now, with the spot price being a little bit less than $22, let's just call it $22, stack price is about $26. People were stacking silver when the stack price was over $30. So I personally don't understand what people are really complaining about right now. It seems as though the people that complain about the premiums are the same exact people that are always claiming that silver is incredibly undervalued and that it's going to go to the moon and blah, 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 blah. I don't understand why the $4 premium matters when you're expecting the spot price to go up by $10, $20, $30, $40, $50. It's just something that you need to take into consideration. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just throwing some random numbers out there. These are all just arbitrary numbers just to paint a picture. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to the Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting yesterday, were you watching? Were you tuning in? Were you listening to what was going on? If you didn't live, did you at the very least check it out after the fact? It's important to stay up to date with these things. Don't just rely on my videos. Don't just rely on summaries. You got to listen to the words coming out of these people's mouths. You got to listen to what's actually going on. I'm not covering every little possible intricate detail of the hour-long meeting. These are things that you're going to want to pay attention to. These are really important, key pieces of information. So let me know. Did you check out the FOMC meeting? What did you think of it? And what did you make of the 75 basis point hike? Were you expecting it? Were you not expecting it? Was it already priced in? Was it not? Head on down to the comments and let me know. And on top of that, your thoughts on silver and gold's reaction to everything that took place yesterday. Let me know in the comments. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and a bunch of different designs. A lot of the products are helping us raise some funds and awareness for different charity organizations, by the way. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold almost every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. You can watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's videos all right now if you want to, and every Saturday morning I post a brand new vlog, and there are a ton of other perks as well. VIP Club link in the description. I guarantee you the value exceeds the cost. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your 6 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Normally it's 2, but they bumped it up to 6 for this month only, so capitalize on that while you can. You can deposit any amount, even if it's as little as a penny. It still works, it still counts, you still get your 6 free stocks. If you refer one friend to the app by the end of the month, they're going to give you 10 free stocks for the referral. It's part of their advertising budget. Rather than wasting currency on billboards and TV commercials, they reward their users for helping them build their app with them. And of course, if you refer 3 friends by the end of the month, not only are you going to get 30 free stocks, 10 per referral, but they're also going to give you all the way up to 15 free shares of Apple. And each share is worth about $140 right now, give or take. Up to 15 free shares of Apple. Maybe you'll get all 15. Maybe you'll get 10. Maybe you'll get 1. It's random, but you're guaranteed at least 1. So don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. Time is running out. If you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway. They're free. Then just sell them. Congratulations. Now you have the cash to go and get you some silver. Or maybe some gold, if that's what you want. Webull link in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? The first half of the video really lasering in on the Federal Reserve and the latest FOMC meeting and the 75 basis point hike. What are your thoughts on the meeting that took place yesterday in the press conference? Assuming that you listened to it, because it's definitely something that you should have listened to, what do you think was the most optimistic point of the press conference? And what point had you the most concerned? And then, of course, when it comes to the stock market tanking and silver and gold flying yesterday, silver up about 3.5%, gold up over 1.5%. What did you make of that? Is that something that you noticed? Is that something that you picked up on? And how much further do you think silver and gold are going to climb, at least in the short term? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.